So it is happened from what? Some kind of chemical reaction. So this is all about chemical effect of current. So in class 10 and higher grades, you will be able to know about this chapter in details. But there are something which is has to be done. Otherwise, we will be not be able to understand about this. Before I go further, so what I need to do is that I need to show a video to give a brief introduction of this chapter.
Metals are good conductors of electricity due to available free electrons in it as shown here. Place the copper metal between two terminals of electric circuit. Cu ions have free electrons.
First, this is a picture of a circuit. So in this picture of circuit, so you can see the battery is connected here, and the wire is connected. There is a conductor. So what is the reason behind conducting electricity? इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जो जाती है तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी क्या वो वजह है, व्हाट इज द रीजन जिसके लिए इलेक्ट्रिसिटी होता है? तो जैसे कि कोई केमिकल इक्वेशन होता है, जैसे कि कोई केमिकल रिएक्टिविटी होता है, हम लोग को पता है कि ये रीजन एक ही है, वो है कंडक्टिविटी, है ना? तो कंडक्टिविटी कौन किसको कहता है? कौन कंडक्टिविटी शो करता है? जो कंडक्टर है वो कंडक्टिविटी शो करता है। तो ये कंडक्टर जो है आपका, ये कंडक्टर क्या असल में क्या है? तो इसमें जो है कुछ फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है, जिसके वजह से यू कैन सी कि ये इलेक्ट्रॉन मूव करता है, ये इलेक्ट्रॉन मूव करता है। इसी वजह से हम लोग को पता है कि ये कंडक्टिविटी कर सकता है ड्यू टू फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन। इसका मतलब ये हुआ, जिसके पास फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन होगा शायद वो क्या बन सकता है? शायद वो बन सकता है एक कंडक्टर, है ना? तो ये बात उनको पता लग रहा है। दूसरी चीज ये है, there are batteries, you have two ends, one is positive end and another end you are having, that's a negative end. So what is the name of the positive end of battery and what is the name of the negative end of the electrode? Not say battery, I should say electrode. So the positive end of the electrode is called anode and the negative end of the electrode is called cathode. Okay, ए पहले आता है सी से पहले, और दुनिया में पॉजिटिविटी ज्यादा है, नेगेटिविटी कम है। तो पॉजिटिविटी कम ज्यादा आता है, इसके बाद नेगेटिविटी होता है। तो ये दोनों वजह के लिए एनोड जो है हम लोग बोलते हैं पॉजिटिव है और पहले। चलिए ये वीडियो पहले देख लेते हैं।
And bulb glows. Let us explain conductor and insulator with help of activity. Place the zinc metal between two terminals of electric circuit. The bulb glows. Place the silver metal between two terminals of electric circuit. The bulb glows. This type of material is called conductor. In case of polythene, sulfur and bromine solution placed between two terminals of electric circuit, bulb does not glow. These type of material are called insulator. Take a torch bulb and join the free end of tester with wire. Another free end of bulb joins with other end of battery and other end of battery joins with tester. This completes the circuit of the tester and the bulb should glow. If the bulb does not glow, it means that the tester is not working. Can you think of the possible reasons? It is possible that the connections are loose, or the bulb is fused, or your cells are used up. Check that all the connections are tight. From this activity we conclude that tester is conductor of electricity. Take some amount of water in beaker and squeeze the lemon in it. Make an electric circuit as shown here. Immerse the free end of wires in it and observe. The bulb glows. From this activity we conclude that liquid conducts electricity. Take the tray
So we have sent an we have seen an arrangement. So what is basically electrical conductivity? So electrical conductivity is nothing but the measure of ability of a substance to allow the flow of electric current is called electrical conductivity. So let me write down this thing first, and then I will go deeper. Let us show an arrangement first. Okay, and then we can tell the everything in details. So this is an arrangement where you have two plates here. One is that positive plate and another is negative plate. This is an arrangement of electrolysis. This is the battery end and this is the positive end. So this positive end, okay, you are unable to see the, sorry, I'm just writing myself and you are unaware of, I have not shared it again. Basically, let me share this. Okay. So this is the arrangement. I thought that you are saying that. आप बोलिएगा कि सर मुझे दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. कम से कम चैट कर सकते हैं. मैं तो सोच रहा हूँ सब देख रहा है. मैं ऐसे इसको ड्राइंग कर रहा हूँ. कोई नहीं बोल रहा है कि कुछ दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. At least our honorable co-host, you should say ना. That sir, आप कुछ नहीं लिख रहे हैं बोर्ड पे. मैं तो बोर्ड पे लिख रहा हूँ. मुझे पता नहीं कि आप नहीं देख रहे हैं. देखिए ये एक अरेंजमेंट है. तो यहाँ पे दो प्लेट्स है. We have two plates here. Okay. So this plate is called anode. And this place is called cathode. Okay. So you have to take an arrangement where this electrical conductivity can be done. So this is the process of electrolysis. And this pot is called voltmeter, where we can do this experiment called electrolysis. So what is the purpose of this? And this is the battery. This is the thing, the battery I have added here. So what is the purpose of this? The purpose of this experiment to produce electricity. So definitely there might be a chemical reaction is there. Until unless there is a chemical reaction, so you cannot perform this experiment. Okay. So now we have two plates here. One plate is called anode and another plate is called cathode. Right. So what is an anode and what is an cathode? So the anode means positively charged electrode. And cathode, you need to write with me, all the students, you need to write with me. So cathode means what? Cathode means negative electrode. Okay. So anode is a positive end. So can you say which ion will be attracted by anode? Anode कौन सा ion को attract करेगा? कौन बताएगा? Can you raise your hand? Anode, yeah, Sarif Ahmed, Malda.
Positive ion.
Positive ion will be attracted by anode. No. See, anode is a positive electrode. Always we know the opposite poles or opposite thing attracts each other. So, what is the opposite ions here? So, anion. So, now you need to know what is ion. Ion are two types. One is cation and another is anion. Okay. So what is cation? Cation is the positively charged ion, like sodium plus, potassium plus. And anion is the opposite, negatively charged ions. That means the example would be F minus, Cl minus, okay, I minus, OH minus, these are called anions. So positively charged ions are called cations. So how can he get cations? Who will say how can he get cations? Who will say that? Can you say that? No. So this is the concept of ions, then you need to know. So like a neutral atom, like sodium, okay. Sodium has the electronic configuration of 281. So when it is exiting a electron, जब ये एक इलेक्ट्रॉन छोड़ रहा है, ठीक है, रिमूव एक इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है ये छोड़ दे रहा है, ठीक है, is losing an electron, then it will be Na plus, because each and every atom want to get an electronic configuration like inert gases or octet fulfill electronic configuration. हर कोई इलेक्ट्रॉन चाहता है, हर कोई एटम चाहता है कि मेरा हाउसफुल रहे. तो हाउसफुल का मतलब क्या है कि लास्ट सेल में आपका 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन रहे, है ना, लास्ट सेल में 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन रहे, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. तो या तो आप एक काम कर सकते हैं कि एक छोड़ सकते हैं या एक ले सकते हैं. देखिए क्लोरीन के क्या हो रहा है, क्लोरीन का आपको अगर देखने में आएगा, मैं फ्लोरीन से पहले आपको समझाता हूँ. In case of fluorine, what happened? So electronic configuration like 2 and 7 is like 9. So fluorine क्या करेगा, इलेक्ट्रॉन लेना चाहता है या छोड़ना चाहता है, कौन बताएगा? Yes, जायद इकबाल.
Sir, it want to gain.
So it will be like fluorine minus, okay, and thus the electronic configuration will be 2H. Is it clear? ये सबको समझ में आया आपको कि नहीं, बताइए. जितने स्टूडेंट हैं यहाँ पे, ये चीज आपको सारे समझ में आ रहा है? अभी तक कोई दिक्कत है? You can give a like sign so that I can understand that you are able to understand it and you are getting it. ठीक है, चलिए, वेरी गुड. तो कुछ बच्चे मुझे सवाल किए हैं, या कावातुल्ला से, क्या कावातुल्ला, टेल मी, is there any confusion?
Yes, sir. Again, explain the last part.
This one, the
Yes, sir.
octet-like electronic configuration. See, each and every ion. So just let me show you a video, which is by which you can better understand about this. Because what I feeling is that you don't have any idea about ions, है ना, कावातुल्ला?
Yes, sir.
आपको आयन क्या है पता नहीं, इसी वजह से ये चीज समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. तो पहले हमको ये पता लगना चाहिए कि आयन क्या है. जब तक मुझे ये पता नहीं लगेगा कि आयन्स कैसे फॉर्मेशन होता है, तब ये चीज मुझे समझ में नहीं आएगा. असल में ये होता है कि जब तक मुझे एक केमिस्ट्री का कोई भी चीज हम करें, तो उसमें आयन का फॉर्मेशन क्यों होता है और कब होता है. ये इसलिए होता है कि लास्ट सेल में हर कोई चाहता है कि मेरे पास 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन रहे. कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन रहे? 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन. तो जब तक 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं रहेगा तब तक मजा नहीं आएगा. मतलब लास्ट सेल फुल होना चाहिए. क्यों? क्योंकि हर कोई चाहता है मेरे जिंदगी में आई वांट स्टेबिलिटी, मुझे स्टेबिलिटी चाहिए. तो स्टेबिलिटी के लिए लास्ट सेल में पूरा होना चाहिए, मेरा एक घर होना चाहिए, एक कमरा होना चाहिए, ताकि जहां पे मुझे रहने का मौका मिले या कि एक फिक्स स्टेबिलिटी मिले. तो इसलिए आयंस को ऐसे हम लोग बोलते हैं. देखिए चार्ज, तो इसमें बेसिकली जो एटम है, जब इसको चार्ज लग जाता है तो हम बोलते हैं इसको आयंस. Just let us see a small video.
Loss of electrons will create a charge. These charged particles are called ions. When an atom loses electrons, they become positively charged. Positively charged ions are called cations. easy way to remember
Co-host, is my screen visible? Jahid, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
this is to recall that cats have paws. Paws. When an atom gains electrons, they become negatively charged. Negatively charged ions are called anions. Let's look at sodium as an example. Its electronic structure is 2, 8, and 1. It has 1 electron in its valence or outermost shell. When sodium loses this valence electron, it becomes a positively charged sodium ion. This charge is written as a superscript when writing the symbol. When drawing the electronic structure, enclose it in square brackets and write the charge on the top right-hand corner. Now, let's look at oxygen as another example. Its electronic structure is 2 and 6. Therefore, there are 6 electrons in its valence shell. Oxygen gains 2 electrons to form a negatively charged oxide ion. Remember to include the charge when writing the symbol and when drawing the electronic structure. If we look at the electronic structure of these two ions, we will see that they have a complete outer shell. We will also see that they have the same electronic structure as that of a noble gas. The sodium ion and the oxide ion have the same electronic structure as a neon atom. How are you feeling about ions? Are you ready to form ions on your own? Let's try. Please pause the lesson and draw the electronic structure of a calcium ion and a chloride ion. The electronic structure of calcium is 2, 8, 8, 2. It loses 2 valence electrons to form a calcium 2 plus ion. The electronic structure of chlorine is 2, 8, and 7. It gains an electron to form a chloride ion. These two ions have the same electronic structure as an argon atom. Did you get the structures right? And did you remember to specify the charges? What do sodium and magnesium have in common? They are both metals, and metals lose their valence electrons to form cations. Group 1 metals, such as sodium, have one.
So you can see here that metals actually can do the conductivity. Why? Because metal can lose electron. ये बात एक समझ में आना चाहिए सबको, जो इलेक्ट्रॉन आसानी से छोड़ सकता है. Those elements which can lose electron very easily, they are very good conductors. Are you getting my point? Okay.
Valence electron, and they lose this electron to form ions with a +1 charge. Group 2 metals, such as magnesium, have 2 valence electrons, and they lose these electrons to form ions with a 2+ charge. Oxygen and fluorine are both nonmetals. Nonmetals tend to gain electrons to form anions. Oxygen is in group 6 and has 6 valence electrons. It gains 2 electrons to form an ion with a -2 charge. Fluorine is in group 7 and has 7 valence electrons. It gains 1 electron to form an ion with a -1 charge. Group 3 elements, such as aluminum, lose 3 electrons to form ions with a +3 charge. Group 5 elements, such as nitrogen, gain 3 electrons to form ions with a -3 charge. Group 4 elements, such as carbon, tend to form covalent compounds. Stay tuned. In conclusion, an ion is a charged particle formed from either the gain or loss of electrons. A positively charged ion is known as a cation, and a negatively charged ion is known as an anion. The ions formed have the same electronic structure as their nearest noble gas.
So are you getting my point? Is there any confusion? कोई सवाल है आपका? The concept of ion is clear to all? Okay. So can you have the like sign so that I can actually understand whether you are getting my point or not? अगर आप like sign दीजिएगा तब मुझे पता लगेगा कि आपको समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं. Okay. Very good. तो मैं कहा था कि अभी एनायंस के बारे में हमको पता लग गया और कैटायंस के बारे में हमको पता लग गया. ठीक है. तो okay. So now you can understand actually what I wanted to write. So now I just giving a simple thing to be completed. जो आप लोग को पता होना चाहिए कि कंडक्टर क्या है, मेटालिक कंडक्टर क्या है. Those solids allowing electricity to pass through them are many metals and alloys. They are called metallic or electric conductors. Electronic conductors. So those solids allowing electricity to pass through them are many metals and alloys. They are called metallic or electronic conductors. Okay. Yes, Rejanur said. Yes, Rejanur. Say.
Sir, what is alloy?
Good question. So alloy is basically, you can say, the mixture of two metals or more than one metal. That is alloy. Okay. It's like steel. So the steel is not all about that only one compound is there. It's more than one or two compound, like German silver. Okay. So three elements are mixing together. So that is called alloy. Like bronze, steel, these are called alloy. Duralumin, by which the most of the things are aluminium. Okay, good. So now I'm just having another point is that electricity. Sorry. That is the electrolyte. So electrolyte, what is electrolyte? So electrolyte, the liquid which are taking, you need to write with me, okay? The liquid which conducts the liquid which conducts electricity undergoes decomposition into decomposition. The liquid which conducts electricity undergoes decomposition is called electrolyte. So electrolytes are two types. One is that, electrolyte, like I'm giving an example of dilute HCl, dilute H2SO4. So now you are getting my question, why the lemon was added. So lemon is something, see, can you see this? Until unless there is an ion which can carry the electrons, so it cannot be, the electrolysis cannot be done. अगर एक मेरे पास एक लिक्विड कुछ भी है, उसमें अगर आयंस जनरेट नहीं होता है तो उसमें आप इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस नहीं होगा. तो आयंस कैसे जनरेट होता है, जैसे हम लोग एसिड में पढ़े हैं H+Cl-, H2SO4 में हम लोग पढ़ते हैं कि जैसे आयन अगर जनरेट नहीं होगा तो उसमें इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस नहीं होगा, क्योंकि ये आयंस जो है, समझ लीजिए कि कैटायंस है, तो कैटायंस किसके पास जाएगा? कैथोड के पास जाएगा, क्योंकि कैथोड नेगेटिव है ना. तो अभी यहाँ कहते हैं इलेक्ट्रोड क्या है. चलिए इलेक्ट्रोड क्या है. दो टाइप का इलेक्ट्रोड होता है. द टू प्लेट्स or rods dipped in liquid and connected to the battery are called electrodes. ओके. अब इलेक्ट्रोड्स क्या है, दो टाइप का होता है, एक कैथोड है, एक एनोड है ना. तो एनोड क्या है? व्हाट इज एन एनोड? सो एनोड जो है आपका, द इलेक्ट्रोड connected to the positive terminal of battery is called anode. Now, what is a cathode? What is a cathode? So, the electrode connected to the negative terminal of battery is called cathode. Are you getting my point? Is that clear to all? Completed? You have done? The boy thought that the would not disappear if then Okay, Jayat, you have done. So all the students, did you completed the writing? Okay, good. So let me go through another important part is that so now we know about cathode and we know about anodes. This is anode and this is cathode. Can you see this? So now, Jayat, can you say me that which ions are going to be attracted by anode?
Sir, by the anode,
Yes,
so the negatively charged.
very good. See, the anode is a positively charged
Yes, sir.
and
It
cathode
will
is,
always attract unlike charges.
yes, unlike charges, it will be attracted unlike charges. So there is an anode, so there will be the cations. Is it not? It will be cation or anions?
Sir, cation.
No, anions. See,
Sir.
anions is a negatively charged. Anion about what? Anion is negatively charged.
Oh,
And
and it gained.
And it is cathode and the cation is positive. Cation is positive. Unlike charges always attract, na? That's why cathode is negative. So the
Yes, sir,
cation will be
understood.
attracted by them. Right?
Understood.
So
Yes, sir.
anode will attract what? Anions.
Sir, anions.
And vice versa, cations will attract
Cations.
cations. Cations is basically positively charged ion and anion is basically negatively charged ion. Is that clear to all?
Yes, sir.
So I think for the first class, it's good enough we have done. Otherwise, it will be now blowing over your head, is it not? So just let me show you something so that today's package has to be completed. Otherwise, the package is incomplete. क्यों सीखे? अभी तक जो भी हम लोग सीखे, क्यों सीखे? इसका जरूरत क्या था? सर आप क्या कैथोड पढ़ा रहे हो? क्या आप ये सब पढ़ा रहे हो? ये सब करने की जरूरत क्या है? ये इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस कैसे चीज कहती है? कौन सी खेत की मूली है? तो ये केमिकल चेंजेस है बेटा कि केमिकल चेंजेस आप कैसे कर सकते हो, ये हमारे लिए देखना बहुत जरूरी है.
Electrical current flow.
तो चलिए इसको हम लोग लास्ट एक वीडियो देख के आज की क्लास खत्म करते हैं. अच्छे से पढ़ना है, मैं इसका असाइनमेंट दूंगा, सब बच्चे करके रखेंगे, है ना? तो चलिए इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस इलेक्ट्रिकल फ्लो क्या है ये देख.
Through a liquid which causes chemical changes. Yes, you did hear that correctly. Current flowing through a liquid. Now, not all liquids can conduct. The liquid can be a molten ionic compound or an aqueous solution. In either case, it must be able to carry current. Let's take a common example, table salt. If you heat sodium chloride to over 801 degrees Celsius, it will melt. The liquid will contain free-flowing positive sodium ions and negative chloride ions. This simply means that sodium and chloride ions are free to move within the liquid sodium chloride. Positive ions are called cations. Negative ions are called anions. Now consider putting two electrical conductors into the liquid. Copper would be good as it has a higher melting point. Nothing happens to the ions at this point, but if we connect the two bits of copper to an electrical cell or power supply, then things start to get interesting. We do need to sidestep for a moment to look at electrical current in a metal. From our lesson Behaviour of Metallic Structures, we know that electrons in a metal aren't bound to particular atoms.
They form a sea of electrons that can move easily if a potential difference or a voltage is applied across it. This could be from an electrical cell or a battery. The electrons will begin to drift towards the positive terminal of the battery, and this is what happens when current flows. Current is the movement of charge, in this case, electrons. Now, let's go back to our molten sodium chloride. We've added our copper wires, let's call them electrodes, and now we'll connect these to an electrical cell. The electrons will start to flow in the wires, and this will cause one electrode to become positively charged and the other negatively charged. This has an immediate knock-on effect in the molten sodium chloride, which you'll remember is a mixture of sodium cations and chloride anions. Anything positively charged in the liquid, in this case the sodium ions, is going to be attracted to the negative electrode. And anything negatively...
Can you see this? So now this is the positive electrode named as anode. And now this chlorine, all are anions. It's a negatively charged ions. So it is being attracted by whom? It is being attracted by the positive electrode, which is called anode. ये सबको समझ में आ रहा है शरीफ? समझ में आ रहा है शरीफ? Are you able to understand it? Yeah. Kawatullah, are you getting it? Adil Hossain, are you getting it? Okay. Dilwar Hussain, are you getting it? Rajibul Haq, Alif Tanjim, समझ में आ रहा है सबको? चलिए, यही बात हमको आज तक बोलना था. इसके बाद हम लोग अगला क्लास में करेंगे. ये एक इंट्रोडक्टरी था, क्यों हम कर रहे हैं, why it is understanding, है ना? तो आज हम लोग क्या सीखे? What you have learned from today's class. चलिए, क्या क्या हम लोग सीखे, सब हम अभी हम सबको अनम्यूट करने का मौका देंगे ताकि आप लोग मुझे बता पाए कि आज के क्लास में हम लोग क्या क्या सीखे हैं और क्या क्या हम लोग सीखना चाहते हैं. चलिए, आज के क्लास में हम लोग ये एक थोड़ा सा सीखने की कोशिश करेंगे. Co-host is requested to give the access to all them. They can unmute themselves. चलिए, अमीर हुसैन, आज का क्लास क्या था? चलिए बोलिए. Today's class, today's learnings. चलिए बताइए, आमिर हुसैन बताइए क्या सीखे आप आज के क्लास में, एक पॉइंट बताइए. क्या सीखे?
Yes, sir. Today we learned about positive negative charge, that unlike means cathode and anode.
Very good. Conductor नहीं सीखे पहले? Conductor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have learned also.
Yes. And आप क्या बोले? Ions, है ना? We have learned about ions.
Yes, sir.
And ions are two types. One is cations and
one is anion.
anion. चलिए, thank you. राजीबुल बताइए. मोहम्मद राजीबुल हक. मोहम्मद राजीबुल हक.
Electrolysis.
Electrolysis. Very good. So is another point we are making, electrolysis. So electrolysis में what we have learned? What are the things we have learned?
Sir, cathode and anode. And
okay, cathodes and anions and
sir, anions and cations.
So cathodes and anodes. और एक चीज हम लोग जो सीखे हैं, आप भूल जा रहे हैं उसको, कौन बताएगा? Apart from this cathode and anode, and another thing we are forgetting. Yes. जायद इकबाल बताइए.
इलेक्ट्रोड.
इलेक्ट्रोड या इलेक्ट्रोड तो ये दोनों है, कैथोड और ये, तो इसको हम लोग और क्या बोल सकते? इलेक्ट्रोलाइट. वेरी गुड. इलेक्ट्रोलाइट. और क्या सीखे इसके बारे में? वोल्टामीटर, है ना?
यस सर.
और कुछ छूट रहा है क्लास में? और कुछ सीखे हम लोग आज टुडे? कबातुल्लाह. यस यस, कबातुल्लाह बताइए.
Sir, like the South Pole and the North Pole, they unlike attract each other. Like this only, the anode is the negative charge and the cathode is the positive. The anode negative attracts with the cathode's positive, and the cathode's positive attracts with the anode negative.
वेरी गुड. सो क्या ये अट्रैक्शन है ना, ऑपोजिट अट्रैक्ट्स, है ना? ये भी हम लोग आज एक सीखे. कि ऑपोजिट अट्रैक्ट्स। तो कैटायन किसको अट्रैक्ट करेगा? कैथोड किसको करेगा? कैथोड जो
Anode.
है, नहीं 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 नहीं, कैथोड किसको अट्रैक्ट करेगा? कैटायन को करेगा, क्योंकि कैथोड तो पॉजिटिव है। तो कैथोड नेगेटिव है, तो नेगेटिव किसको अट्रैक्ट करेगा? कैटायन को। और एनोड क्या है? पॉजिटिव है, एनोड किसको अट्रैक्ट करेगा? एनोड किसको अट्रैक्ट करेगा? एनायन को अट्रैक्ट करेगा, है ना? बात समझ में आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही है? क्योंकि एनायन नेगेटिव है, एनायन नेगेटिव आयंस है, तो इट विल बी अट्रैक्टेड बाय whom? इट विल बी अट्रैक्टेड बाय पॉजिटिव। और यहाँ पे जो कैथोड है, तो ये कैथोड है नेगेटिव, तो नेगेटिव होने की वजह से so it will attract कैटायन। चलिए, वेरी गुड। सरीफ अहमद बोलिए लास्ट वन। या सरीफ?
Sir, we also learned about the structure of the atoms.
Atomic structure of an atom, very good. This atomic structure, we can say the electronic configuration. Yeah, है ना? Atomic structure and electronic configuration. Electronic configuration, that is octet, the idea of octet. Very good. So these are the learnings in today's class we had, है ना? चलिए, आज के लिए इतना ही। मैं होम टास्क दूंगा, सब कंप्लीट करके। क्लास कैसा लगा सबको? हाउ वाज द क्लास? ठीक है, लेकिन only 18 students are left. Okay, good. So the next class we would like to have a discussion in more details. Thank you all.